Hello viewers and welcome back to my channel Lubna Scholars. In this video we will talk about guerrilla warfare, which is a form of irregular combat where small groups of combatants, over civilians or militia members, use tactics such as ambushes, sabotage, raids and mobility to fight a larger, more traditional military force. The term guerrilla comes from the Spanish word for little war and was first used during the Peninsular War when Spanish fighters resisted Napoleon's army. Guerrilla warfare often relies on knowledge of the terrain, local support, and the element of surprise, allowing weaker forces to challenge and sometimes defeat more powerful enemies. Now we will look at history of guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare has ancient roots, with early examples seen in the tactics of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, which emphasized mobility deception and the use of terrain. Throughout history, it has been employed by various groups and civilizations. In the Roman Empire, Germanic tribes used guerrilla tactics to resist Roman expansion, and during the Middle Ages, such tactics were utilized by smaller kingdoms and tribal groups against larger enemies. During the American Revolution, colonial militias employed guerrilla tactics against British forces, contributed to the eventual independence of the United States. The Spanish resistance against Napoleon in the early 19th century is one of the earliest instances where the term guerrilla was explicitly used. In the 20th century, guerrilla warfare played a significant role in several conflicts, including the Vietnam War, where the Viet Cong used these tactics to fight against the United States. It also became a common method for resistance movements and independence struggles in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Now we will talk about some unknown facts about this war. Sun Tzu's influence. Guerrilla warfare is rooted in ancient Chinese military philosophy. Sun Tzu's The Art of War, written around the 5th century BCE, laid the groundwork for the principles of deception, mobility, and using the environment to one's advantage. Roman experience with guerrillas. The Romans struggled with guerrilla tactics during their expansion. Germanic tribes led by Arminius ambushed and defeated the Roman legions in the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest in 9 CE, using the forest terrain to their advantage. Tactics of the Maroons. Escaped enslaved Africans in the Caribbean and South America, known as the Maroons, used guerrilla tactics to resist European colonial powers and established independent communities in remote regions. Francisco Espoz y Mina's rule. In addition to the famous Spanish guerrillas who resisted Napoleon, Francisco Espoz y Mina was a key figure who organized and led effective guerrilla campaigns against French forces in Spain. Lawrence of Arabia guerrilla campaign. During World War I, Lawrence of Arabia employed guerrilla tactics to aid Arab rebels against the Ottoman Empire using knowledge of the desert and swift hit and run attacks. Cuban Revolution. Guerrilla warfare was central to Fidel Castro and the Che Guevara's strategy during the Cuban Revolution. They used the mountains of the Sierra Maestra as their base, launching attacks that ultimately led to overthrowing the Batista government. Mao Zedong's adoption. Mao Zedong of China wrote extensively on guerrilla warfare during the Chinese Civil War. His doctrine emphasized the importance of gaining popular support and using guerrilla tactics to eventually transition into conventional warfare. U.S. Special Forces. The establishment of the U.S. Army Special Forces, Green Berets, in the 1950s was influenced by guerrilla warfare. They were trained to organize train and support guerrilla movements in foreign countries. Vietnam War Tunnels. The Viet Cong used an extensive network of underground tunnels for guerrillas operations during the Vietnam War, allowing them to launch surprise attacks, escape bombings, and move supplies undetected. In the last, I would like to say technology in modern guerrilla warfare. In the 21st century, guerrilla warfare has evolved to include the use of technology such as drones and improvised explosive devices (IEDs), enhancing the capabilities of smaller groups to challenge more advanced military forces. Guerrilla warfare has been an enduring and adaptable form of conflict throughout history. Its success lies in the ability of smaller forces to use unconventional methods, exploiting weaknesses in larger armies and leveraging local knowledge and support. From ancient times to modern day conflicts, guerrilla tactics have repeatedly proven effective, influencing military strategy worldwide. As warfare continues to evolve, guerrilla tactics remain a potent tool for those facing overwhelming odds, demonstrating the enduring nature of these combat methods. I hope you will like this video, so kindly like, subscribe and share my channel. I will meet in the next video with next topic. Until then, take care and goodbye.